faithfully delivering value and interpreting great books from around the world. Hi, this is Sally here with the Book Talk. Today, I'll interpret the book Multi-Directional Thinkers for you with the subtitle The Inner World of Highly Sensitive People. In life, there's a group of people who seem naturally more sensitive than others. A sentence that sounds harmless to ordinary folks can make them burst into tears. Scenery that looks ordinary to others, they always spot more details and get ecstatic over it. People around them often say they think too much and are too sensitive, like Lynn Dayu, always full of emotions and tears. It's a bit exhausting to be with them. The author of this book, Christophe de Bruyne, calls these people multi-directional thinkers. They have more sensitive senses, capturing tons of fragmented info into their brains and thinking from multiple angles at once, which easily makes their emotions swing wildly. Why are multi-directional thinkers more sensitive than others? What are the perks and struggles for people with this trait? Today, this book will take you into the inner world of multi-directional thinkers to understand how highly sensitive people think and live. The author, Christophe de Bruyne, is hailed as France's national psychologist, with 20 years of counseling experience helping tens of thousands of multi-directional thinkers. In this book, he combines firsthand insights and real cases from his work to show the challenges multi-directional thinkers face and offers effective solutions. As soon as it hit shelves, this book topped the Amazon bestseller list in France and stayed at #1 for ages. It's now translated into over 20 languages and remains a global bestseller in more than 30 countries and regions. Next up, I'll break this book down into 3 parts for you. Part 1, why do multidirectional thinkers tend to overthink? Part 2, what are the pros and cons of multidirectional thinkers? Part 3, how can multidirectional thinkers live better? All right, let's dive into part 1 now. Why do multidirectional thinkers tend to overthink? The author believes this is mainly due to 2 reasons. The first reason is that multidirectional thinkers are right brain multidirectional thinkers. Their divergent thinking style means they're bound to think a lot. Physiologically speaking, our brain has left and right hemispheres. Some folks are better at left brain thinking, others at right brain thinking. Left brain thinkers make up about 70 to 85% of people, while right brain thinkers account for just 15 to 30%. The multidirectional thinkers we mentioned today are all right brain thinkers, while those skilled in left brain thinking excel at linear thought. Linear thinking is a thought process with strong logical connections. For example, if I'm hungry, I eat. If holding a hammer, I look for nails. That's linear thinking. Left brain thinkers are great at solving problems step by step, following procedures or manuals. Right brain thinkers excel at divergent thinking, characterized by thoughts without strong logical links. For instance, seeing the moon makes them think of stars, then their recent breakup, then a novel they're drafting. This disconnected, jumping thought process generates diverse solutions but causes overthinking with too many mental paths. The book gives an example. A girl named Manon needs to write a Renaissance report. Her mind floods with ideas. One moment planning to write about a painter, next feeling philosophers' stories are essential. Then she thinks of Florence's sculptures, realizes Florence is just one Renaissance city, so Rome and Venice must also be included. The more Manon thinks, the more discouraged she feels, convinced she'll never finish. This Manon-style thinking is classic multidirectional thinker cognition. Ideas branch like trees in their minds. One thought spawns 10 more. 10 ideas spawn hundreds. Their brains never resting, constantly generating new thoughts. Lacking an off switch, they think nonstop. The second reason multidirectional thinkers overthink is their heightened sensitivity, receiving more information than others. Heightened sensitivity is a scientific term for hyperacute sensory receptors. We all gather information through our senses, but sensitivity varies. Some find moderate noise unbearable, while others don't. Some merely like a perfume, while others identify its top notes. What are the middle and base notes, respectively? Among multidirectional thinkers, at least one sense is extraordinarily sensitive, such as heightened senses. They absorb vast amounts of fragmented information from life. For example, when listening to the radio, an average listener is fully occupied just by the content and often gets distracted. But for someone with sensitive hearing, they can listen to the radio while also hearing many people talking. So at the same time, the sound of dishes being washed in the next room easily catches their attention because the information in their minds is excessively redundant and complex. Their brains naturally require more thinking to process it. Therefore, overthinking isn't something multidirectional thinkers can control subjectively. Their right brain dominant thinking style and inherently oversensitive senses determine that they think more than average people. Everything has two sides, and multidirectional thinkers are no exception. Compared to left brain thinkers, they have their own advantages and strengths, as well as very annoying flaws. Next, we enter part 2 of the book. What are the advantages and disadvantages of multidirectional thinkers? The two most obvious advantages of multidirectional thinkers are greater creativity and being empathetic. First, why are multidirectional thinkers more creative? The author believes that the divergent thinking multidirectional thinkers excel at is inherently more suitable for creative work than linear thinking. Because divergent thinking can generate countless related associations from one piece of information and find multiple solutions based on different imaginations and clues. Many famous people are right brain thinkers, such as the renowned Italian painter Leonardo da Vinci, who used to record his daily tasks. For example, one day in 1496, he wrote down these words: "Today, the things I need to do. First, go to Milan and its suburbs for sketching. Second, paint a complete map of Milan. Third, find a mathematician to teach me about triangles. Fourth, find a hydraulics expert to tell me how to build a canal. Fifth, go study birds' wings to uncover the mystery of their flight." Just this single day's tasks included 5 areas: painting, travel, mathematics, hydraulics, and zoology. This shows how divergent and jumping his thinking was. Einstein was also a right brain thinker. He once said, "I don't think in words when solving problems, but in dynamic leaps and images." That's the right brain at work. After Einstein died, his personal doctor, Thomas Harvey, stole his brain, froze it, and cut it into 240 pieces for research. Scientists later found Einstein's brain weighed normal, but his right hemisphere was 15% larger than average, with thicker blood vessels, proving its exceptional development. Another strength of multidirectional thinkers is exceptional empathy. Their right brain dominance governs emotions, combined with hypersensitive senses absorbing vast information, allowing sharp detection of others' feelings and strong compassion. For example, seeing someone frown, an insensitive person might ignore it, but a sensitive person internally asks, is he upset? Did he fight with his wife? Is he unwell? Naturally gifted at reading emotions, multidirectional thinkers easily discern others' preferences and needs. Many become social workers or therapists, roles demanding high empathy. Now that we've covered their strengths, let's explore their struggles. The first downside: they're highly emotional. We just discussed their empathy in sensing others' emotions, but the flip side is their own emotions swing far more violently than average. Take Xiao Zhan, thrilled by her boyfriend's flowers, then suddenly crying because flowers wilt, love might vanish, leaving him baffled. Their emotions constantly oscillate at this intensity, with rapid shifts often mislabeled as mania, depression, or bipolar disorder, like Lin Dayu in Dream of the Red Chamber, where others see falling petals and think autumn's here. While Lin Dayu would weep over this and compose Elegy of the Blossoms, many talented people suffer from such intense emotions, like musician Mozart, artist Michelangelo, painter Van Gogh. They benefit from emotional sensitivity for artistic achievement, yet are tormented by these violent emotions. The second downside for multidirectional thinkers is being easily ostracized in groups. Since most people are left brain thinkers, multidirectional thinkers' different thought processes make them misfits, leading to exclusion. And, for example, in school, they're often labeled by teachers as disruptive or non compliant with curricula. In reality, they're just trying to untangle their jumbled thoughts. But their scattered ideas make teachers see them as inattentive, random questioners, or troublemakers. Such kids often become marginalized at school. Additionally, they're frequently criticized as immature, unstable, overly emotional, or childish, what we call thin skinned. Over time, many leave them because it's exhausting. The third downside, they easily lose themselves and habitually please others. As minorities, multidirectional thinkers are almost born people pleasers. They do this just to blend in and avoid rejection. This people pleasing habit forms from early childhood. Since many parents are left brain thinkers too, they don't recognize their child as multidirectional, just different, like insisting on left-handed writing or eating, thinking the sun shouldn't be red, that Tuesday is green, or dismantling new toys. Some parents, not understanding, rush to correct them, making the child feel unaccepted. To earn parental praise, they strive to meet expectations. In this process, they actually start pleasing their parents. And growing up, to avoid rejection, they please others too. Multidirectional thinkers deliberately mimic behaviors preferred by left brain thinkers. And with their sharp observation, they often imitate them flawlessly. The author had a client named Flick who, to gain popularity, often played the clown at parties, making everyone burst into laughter. But after each performance, Flick would return home feeling profoundly empty, even experiencing identity confusion. Yet to belong to the group, people like Flick can't help but keep playing the clown to amuse others. The final downside for multidirectional thinkers is poor sleep quality. Day and night, their brains never stop high-speed thinking. Their brains grind like millstones constantly. Many have complex dreams or nightmares, wake easily, and feel mentally restless. These dreams feel intensely real, leaving them feeling unrested all night, stuck in light sleep. That concludes part 2. Multidirectional thinkers are a group with exceptionally clear strengths and weaknesses. They're creative and empathetic, but suffer poor sleep, emotional volatility, and social exclusion. To fit in, they often become natural people pleasers. So how can they leverage strengths and minimize weaknesses and live more comfortably among others? Next, we'll explore part 3, improving multidirectional thinkers' quality of life for better living. I'll mainly introduce 5 methods. First method, establish emotional anchors to escape negative emotions. An anchor means just that, an anchor. Their emotions swing rapidly between joy and depression. Emotional anchors help them quickly exit negativity and return to positivity. Emotional anchors are a neurolinguistic programming concept. External stimuli directly triggering internal emotional chain reactions, meaning we treat external events as anchors. As anchors change, our emotions unconsciously shift. For example, seaside walks often bring relaxed laziness, while eating delicious cake evokes happiness. Based on this theory, we can artificially set anchors linked to positive emotional energy. For example, clenching fists generates determination, while smiling induces happiness. Once anchors are established, repeat them to create emotional reflexes. When negative emotions overwhelm you, quickly activate these anchors to escape. Escape negativity and live more freely. Second method, boost serotonin. Sleep issues and mood swings in multidirectional thinkers often stem from serotonin deficiency. Serotonin, an amino acid derivative, directly impacts sleep quality. When serotonin regulation fails, it causes depression, OCD, or binge eating. We can adjust levels through diet, eat protein rich foods like poultry, fish, dairy, and exercise. Exercise triggers central nervous system serotonin release, increasing concentration. Another serotonin booster, planning. When the brain develops new plans and goals, it produces excitement generating hormones. This hormone, dopamine, aids serotonin synthesis. Setting daily, small goals or learning annual new skills energizes multidirectional thinkers' brains for freer living. Third method, organize overloaded mental warehouses. A multidirectional thinker's mind resembles a chaotically stocked warehouse. Finding things there is like untangling yarn. Regular mental organization prevents daily thought chaos. Traditional organization uses linear 1.1, 1.2 numbering, suited for left-brainers but not multi-directional thinkers. Their ideal tool is mind mapping. Start with a central keyword on paper, branch out related aspects, then expand those branches further. This tree-like format mirrors multi-directional thinkers' divergent cognition, making it intuitive for them. Multi-directional thinkers deserve to live more freely. Fourth method, learn social skills to build multi-layered networks. As discussed, their different thinking leads to exclusion among majority left brain thinkers. Many develop social anxiety, either isolating completely or escaping into fantasy worlds. But humans are social creatures. Constant avoidance deepens isolation. There are two practical social skills. First, quick attention redirection. When excluded, find someone nearby, chat about weather, go shopping, or just talk. If alone, discuss last night's gossip or tackle manageable tasks like deep cleaning your home or finishing that long pending painting. These bring accomplishment, replacing exclusion-induced frustration. Second skill, establish multi-tiered relationships. To avoid alienation, they're socially unskilled. They may cling intensely to one friend, but learn to build varied connections. Close friends, casual friends, acquaintances. Because small but intensely intimate networks, one conflict could collapse everything. Devastating. Multi-tiered networks meet needs at different levels. Soothing example, soothing and ease worries. Others help you socialize and meet new people. Some quietly watch movies with you, others are purely for grabbing drinks. The richer the interpersonal layers, the more stable the social network. When facing exclusion, multidirectional thinkers gain more support. Multidirectional thinkers should live more freely. The fifth method is to learn diverse new knowledge and nourish yourself with creativity and art. Multidirectional thinkers naturally need multi-layered, multi-domain knowledge to enrich themselves, while others feel multitasking causes information overload. For multidirectional thinkers, diverse stimuli actually awaken their vitality and make their brains run at full speed. Yeah. For example, a bartender who's a multidirectional thinker noticed a strange phenomenon. When there are many drinks but few customers, he needs to jot down each order or he'll forget as soon as he turns around. But when customers explode in number, he can clearly remember every table's order without any notes. Therefore, multidirectional thinkers should consciously expand their knowledge domains, feeding their brains with diversity to keep it vibrant. These domains should preferably be creative, like decorating, gardening, crafts, cooking, etc., which continuously stimulate the brain to generate new passions. Additionally, multidirectional thinkers can visit museums, art expeditions, and attend concerts to fully nourish their sensitive senses. All right, that covers the main content of this book. Multidirectional thinkers overthink, are overly sensitive and emotional because they excel at right brain thinking and have acute senses. At the same time, they have strengths like strong creativity and empathy, but they're prone to emotional swings, exclusion, becoming people pleasers, and suffering from poor sleep. The fifth method is to improve quality of life. Multidirectional thinkers can start with these five approaches. First, establish emotional anchors to find your energetic emotions. Um, Second, supplement serotonin through diet, exercise, etc. to improve core sleep quality. Third, organize the overloaded thought warehouse. Third, use mind mapping to organize thoughts, giving excessive thinking structure. Fourth, learn social skills to build multi-layered social networks, so multi-directional thinkers can find emotional support when rejected. Fifth, learn diverse new knowledge to nourish your brain with creativity and art. Finally, it's important to note that left brain thinkers and multidirectional thinkers aren't binary opposites. Each has strengths and weaknesses needing mutual understanding. Left brain thinkers excel at logical, structured tasks. Multidirectional thinkers are highly creative yet more sensitive, emotional. Understanding these differences helps us leverage our traits, maximize strengths, minimize weaknesses, and live more efficiently and freely. All right, that concludes our coverage of multidirectional thinkers. Reading notes are below the audio. See you tomorrow.